tick, tick, tick on the wall. Maybe you could have it all. Get down on your knees and pray. Maybe she will let you stay. Good enough if you play the game. Here comes the music, don't resist. Gotta keep on moving. Here comes the music, just give in. Gotta keep on moving.
And also, we're probably going to have baby sounds in the back of this one. So
That's okay.
It's unavoidable. I can't just be like, go into another room because they're in like the play area.
That's okay. Well, we have good baby sounds coming in to make everyone's day a little more pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Hey, I'm Nirav. I shouldn't be here, but I am. Sorry. And today we're going to do a little. I had a lot of ideas for things to do for April Fools, and we eventually landed on this. So I have our three ladies with me here: Rachel, Lyndsey, and Alexa. So please introduce yourselves and say hi.
Hi. Hello.
Which one are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Rachel.
Hi, I'm Alexa.
Hi, I'm Lyndsey.
Awesome.
Gang's
Yeah.
all here.
So yeah, the gang's all here. So what we're doing today is I had an idea, and I sort of crowdsourced this from our Discord. So shout out to everybody in a second time around for crowdsourcing this quiz. So basically, our idea was, since the main podcast is like a bunch of guys talking about something that is like traditionally for women, we're like, well, let's do the reverse. That would be funny. So here we are. What we are going to do is talk about a few topics that are generally. So I want to preface this because almost all of the things here are things that like a lot of women enjoy, like topics, subcultures, fandoms, etc., hobbies. They are, however, all things that like women are not traditionally welcomed into, and to the point that it's like a lot of these are pretty toxic fandoms, quite frankly, because that is kind of the reason they are like the way they are, that a lot of women aren't involved in them. But nevertheless, the idea was that I put together a quiz for men only. Only a true man could pass this quiz.
Hell yeah.
So we came up with the most like male centric topics, like things, and just like like I said, fandoms that like we could think of, and I made a quiz out of it. So what I'm gonna do is, each one of these is multiple choice. Most of them are 4 options, some have 5. There's 25 questions on this quiz, and so each one's worth 4 points. So at the end, we're gonna score you guys and see how much of a man you are.
Oh my gosh. Who's keeping score?
Do I want a high score or do I want a low score?
That depends entirely
personally,
on you.
I feel like I would want to throw this to be the least amount of man as possible.
Think of it this way: if you can get in the headspace of a man, then you have dominated like even more of society, of what society is trying to forbid you from understanding.
Oh, you're so right.
So
Do we need to keep score ourselves?
I will be keeping score. So the way this is going to work is I'll read the question, and then I will give you the multiple choice answers, and then the 3 of you are going to discuss between yourselves, and as a unit, pick one answer that's going to be your one you're going to go with.
Oh, it's a team project.
It is, because this is supposed to be about women talking to each other, and it's mostly just me reading questions. So that was my way to combat that.
It's a cooperative game.
Yes, it is. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. First question's easy. What are your names? We already got that one.
Whoa!
You got 4 points for that one.
Hooray!
This is a question. This is one of those tests where you get points for writing your name on it.
Do women not know their names?
I didn't say that.
Name a woman. Name a woman right now. Name a woman.
Lyndsey Lohan. Why did I think of her first? Okay. Anyway, all right. Let's get into it. You sit down at a bar and order a porter. The bartender refuses to serve you until you can tell him the primary difference between a porter and a stout. Here are your options. A stout is typically bitter, while a porter has a more roasted flavor. Porters are made with top fermenting yeast, while stouts use bottom fermenting yeast. Porters typically rely on malted barley, while stouts rely on roasted barley. Or porters have notes of nuts and grains, while stouts usually have notes of fruit.
So I think it's the third one, because the notes doesn't make sense to me, Because I think Guinness is a stout, and I don't think that has any fruit in it. So the types of what was it, barley, you said? Grain? I think the grain type make... that
the
makes
third
sense.
one was that porters rely on malted barley while stouts rely on roasted barley.
That makes sense. I don't know if it's yeast. I don't know if the yeast would have that big of a difference either.
Yeah, I don't really know much about the process of beer. And I know I could probably answer maybe a question about beer, but these ones I don't know.
That was kind of what, because like beer was not like we were talking about like, oh, beer is a thing men like, but a lot of women like beer, but there are not a lot of women that are involved in the subculture of like brewing and breweries.
Sure.
So that's where we ended up with this. So would you guys like to submit? Lyndsey, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know the difference between any of these. I don't even know if I've had these different kinds. So.
Okay. All right. What's final answer?
I guess we'll go with C,
C,
if that's
yeah.
what you're the closest thinking of. I'm into it.
All right. You guys submitting for C, and C is correct. Nice job.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay, Rachel.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
You're amazing. Look at you.
I'm becoming more manly already.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
That's the goal of this one. All right. Next question. You are browsing Steam looking for the next Call of Duty game to get lost in. However, you've heard there's a fake Call of Duty game up on the store right now someone's running as a scam. Which one of the following is the fake one? Call of Duty Finest Hour, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty Global Operation, or Call of Duty War of the Worlds?
I think go ahead.
I think War of the Worlds, probably.
No, I think War of the Worlds is a real one. I think it's
Is it?
Global Operations.
So again, they are Finest Hour, Infinite Warfare, Global Operation, and War of the Worlds.
Infinite
I know
Warfare.
Infinite Warfare. Yeah, that's the one that I do have locked in my brain. It's like, yes, this one's real.
Okay.
I played a lot of Call of Duty back in like the Black Ops 2 days, but that's about it.
So
Right.
then we're between Finest Hour, War of the Worlds, and what's the third one?
Global Operation.
Global Operation.
Global Operations sounds like an office of some kind of
does.
shipping company. Like this is
Very
our
corporate.
this is our Global Operations office.
Ironically, that's my only reference for Call of Duty is The Office.
Yeah, apparently in The Office they played Call of Duty at one time, which
They didn't.
they didn't.
No, they did. When Jim goes to the other branch.
Okay, yeah. Which I think escaped my brain, but yeah. So that is where Call of Duty is from. It's from The Office.
Uh-huh.
All right, what are you guys feeling?
Global Operations.
Yeah, that one just feels it feels fake to me.
All right, and the answer is War of the Worlds is fake.
Oh
I'm
no!
sorry. So here's the thing: Global Operations was a mobile game. Call of Duty Go, Go.
Oh.
Smart.
Yeah,
All right.
War of the Worlds is a book.
It is, yeah.
I knew it sounded
Oh, they
familiar.
could have definitely called one of that there.
I would have
There's
believed
Call
them.
of Duty World War II. That is a game.
But
I
that
would've-
makes sense. War of the Worlds is aliens coming to invade.
Right, but Infinite Warfare was also about aliens coming to invade. So
Oh my god. Why would they do it again?
yeah.
No,
All
they
right.
would.
Next one. You're on a date in the theater watching the newest James Bond film. Your date shrieks in excitement, spilling popcorn onto your new top, whispering that Bond is now driving the same classic Aston Martin he drove in Goldfinger and Skyfall. What model is displayed on the screen? The DB5, the Valkyrie, the Valor, or the AMR-25?
I wouldn't know it if it ran me over.
I'm gonna say the Valkyrie.
Yeah, I think
That
that one
seems
sounds
like
the
the-
coolest.
Yeah, that is the coolest. It's
It
the
is,
most lady centric. It's probably the hottest one.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
agree.
most girly pop of all
is.
the cars.
Are you guys submitting the Valkyrie as your choice?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That is incorrect. Ooh, it was the DB5. The DB series is the one from the 50s. that has been running since then, still running. The AMR 25 is new. It's actually a Formula One car. And the Valkyrie and Valor are both like 2000s series cars. So, unfortunately, they are newer. But good shot. That was. I like I think the Valkyrie is the coolest too. By the way, I just want to throw that in. How you guys feeling so far?
Not manly enough, I think.
Yeah. You have any feelings?
I mean, no, we're not doing great.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about this one? You're watching Deadpool 4, Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man on Disney Plus Max Premium. Deadpool turns to look at the camera and asks you, I first did my signature fourth wall break in Deadpool issue number 22. Which Marvel villain witnessed this momentous scene? What do you yell back to the TV in order to force the movie to continue?
Thanos is the only Marvel villain I know.
Okay, they're all multiple choice. We got Bullseye, Doctor Doom, Loki, Taskmaster, or the Green Goblin.
I thought Loki was a hero.
He's an anti-hero, I think.
Yeah, but he's definitely my favorite.
I want to say Doctor Doom.
Was he in this scene?
Probably not.
You're feeling Doctor Doom?
I'm feeling Doctor Doom because he's the up-and-coming baddie. Not quite here yet, but on the horizon.
That's true. Played by Robert Downey Jr. For
Which is the
reasons,
silliest. I don't.
For reasons I can't comprehend.
That nobody asked for, but here it is anyways.
All right, Rachel, you have any thoughts?
No.
Uh-oh.
I
Are you
couldn't.
frozen?
No, I'm not. Do you see me frozen?
She is.
She is.
Pause.
Yeah, we'll pause for a second. Let me see if she's typed anything.
I haven't. Can y'all not hear me?
Oh, she's typing now.
Okay.
No. Your screen is frozen and we have no audio.
Oh, she's typing in the chat there.
Yeah.
No, we can't hear you or see you.
Oh, dang.
If it's... if you... Oh, now I can.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
Your picture is blurry. Maybe your internet's not great?
It's possible.
Okay.
No, I can see you okay.
No worries. We paused. All right. And you guys were... Rachel, do you have any thoughts on which Marvel villain might have been here for this momentous occasion?
I don't. Taskmaster sounds really silly. So maybe that would fit. I don't even know what a Taskmaster is.
She's pretty cool.
Is it is it is it a HR lady? Because it sounds like it would be an HR lady.
No, I mean, I think traditionally Taskmaster is a man, but in the most recent MCU rendition, she's a woman.
That is correct.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm.
I mean, my only thought would be Doctor Doom, because that's the one I know that's coming up. But that's the only thought I have about it.
Yeah. I feel like that would be topical.
Right.
Yeah, but unfortunately this quiz is not topical because the answer is Bullseye.
Oh, I thought that was the target dog.
No, it's a guy.
Was Bullseye the enemy of the first Deathpool film that we got with?
No, I don't think he was in the Deadpool films yet.
Not in the Deadpool films, but he was who Ryan Reynolds was also in a different movie. What am I thinking of? Help me.
He played Green Lantern in another movie.
No, I know that.
Yeah. He was also... So he was in the original Wolverine
It was in one of the Wolverines,
Origins.
yeah.
So it was in Wolverine Origins. He was still playing Deadpool, but they wrote the character to be very different, where he did not have a mouth, so he couldn't talk. Yeah. So he did play Deadpool in that movie as well.
Then maybe that's just what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no worries. We've still got plenty of time to come back here. You are in the final match of a professional Pokemon competition with $10 million on the line. Your opponent is a 10-year-old boy with literal snot coming out of his nose, and he has continuously been laughing at you across the table. Your opponent has chosen Chandelure holding a focus sash, and it activates Trick Room. Then your opponent stands up and does 3 full crotch chops and yells, "Easy money!" You have the following 4 Pokemon remaining in your party. With the information given, which one should you switch to? Slowking, Alakazam, Moltres, or Mewtwo? And I even lobbed you guys a softball by choosing all Gen 1 Pokemon.
So,
Tell me the name of the Pokemon we're up against right now.
We have a Chandelure has holding a focus sash, has activated Trick Room.
Chandelure is a ghost Pokemon, I think. I think it's that scary chandelier looking one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you a hint. Yes, you're right. It is a chandelier ghost.
So what counters ghost? And I can't remember what counters ghost. Is it fairy?
These are your Pokemon you have: Slowking, Alakazam, Moltres, and Mewtwo. I'm gonna relocate my cat now.
Psychic. Alakazam is psychic. I don't know what a Moltres is.
So, I think that they're weak to other ghost. Like, ghost is weak to ghost because it's strong against ghost and psychic, and also dark. So then I need my options one more time. Definitely not Moltres.
Slowking, Alakazam, Moltres, Mewtwo.
Okay.
Maybe Mewtwo, because isn't like Mewtwo like the baddie? Isn't he like the big baddie?
But isn't Mewtwo also psychic?
I do want to also...
So Alakazam would also be psychic.
Yeah. I do want to say this is based on a slightly based on a true story, rather, from my friend Rhett, who did play competitive Pokemon across the country for a while, and went to a competition, and the winner was a 10-year-old boy who, after winning, got up and was like, "Easy money!" like right to the audience.
Wow.
So that is, yeah.
And how old was Rhett in this?
He's like 20. Huh. Yeah, he didn't make it that far. He was just like watching the finals.
So I would do what I do a lot of times and go with vibes.
Okay.
And I think Slowking has the right vibe here.
Slowking is water, but he's water something else now.
I think he's normal. I thought he was normal.
Or is he also psychic?
He's not psychic. I think he's normal.
I do want to also qualify, like, I know that of all the video games, like, Pokemon is one of the most popular ones with women, but women are generally not competing in tournaments because men are awful at competitive things.
Yeah, I put together my Pokemon teams solely on what I think is the cutest.
I see. That is the opposite of what I do. You gotta get the ugly motherfuckers in there.
No, and I don't know the names of most of... I just call them what they look like. So it's like, oh, there's Fire Pony, and there's Rock Dude.
To be fair, that is the name of half of them. Alright, go ahead and submit an answer. Who are you feeling?
Why don't we just go with Mewtwo? Oh, but he's... or Slowking. Mewtwo or Slowking. Those are the two I'm in between.
Which one are you vibing with?
I was vibing with either Slowking or Alakazam, but Pokemon I just know so little about.
I mean, Slowking's got the big spiky dude on his butt, so he could, like, smack the chandelier with it.
It's on his head.
I wish that was that logic.
Oh,
was
is
how
it?
The games
Which one is on his... Which is it? Slowpoke?
That's
Slowbro. Slowbro
Slowbro
has it on the tail. Slowking has it on his
puts
head.
his tail in the water, and then it grabs on, and then he becomes Slowbro. But then
Wow.
Slowking, the thing from his tail goes onto his head, and it's like a little crown.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Alexa
Okay.
knows so much Pokemon lore. See?
He could still smack the chandelier with his big old tail, though.
He could. Yeah, he does still have tail.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Slowking just for funsies.
All right, you are correct. It is Slowking.
Oh, yeah.
The reason is because the main part of the question is that it has activated Trick Room, which is a thing that changes the battlefield so that the slowest Pokemon becomes the fastest. Slowking is one of the slowest Pokemon in the game, and so you want that one.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to that.
I
But you
don't
still got the
know
points.
that
It doesn't
ability.
matter. You don't have to show your work on this one.
I will say vibes is how I passed like
Yeah.
ACTs. So
All right.
Good.
You're at a bar
Slow
having
King.
the slow king. Yeah, hold on to him. You're at a bar having a nice night until you're approached by a tech bro who's wearing sunglasses indoors. He
Ew.
begins discussing his self-employed business and has said he is investing in the cryptocurrency which has the fastest blockchain generation time at 2.5 minutes. Which of the following is he going to lose all of his money investing in? Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, or Litecoin? So you're looking for the cryptocurrency with the fastest blockchain generation time at 2.5 minutes.
I don't know what any of that means, but my first thought was either Ethereum or Litecoin.
I think
Just based off
Litecoin.
of-
I think Ethereum is okay. It's like generally stable.
How do you feel? What's your favorite crypto, Rachel? Or like top 3? I know it's hard to pick.
So, like, I've heard of Bitcoin, and I've kind of heard of Ethereum, and I've heard of Dogecoin against my will.
Yeah.
And I don't know what a Litecoin is. But maybe Litecoin is the right answer because it moves at the speed of light, and that's why they call it Litecoin.
Ooh. Yeah. And I wouldn't pick Dogecoin under duress.
Right.
That one was kind of bait. I didn't think you guys would want it. All right, what are you submitting as your answer?
Let's say Litecoin as I throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah, you're correct. It is Litecoin. The reason is not because it moves at the speed of light, but because it is light on resources because it is generating at this speed.
Oh, yeah, listen, we're getting far on vibes tonight.
Yeah, you're right.
We
Actually,
are.
your vibes
Yeah.
are doing well. All right. Your husband has invited his bros over for the big game, and you've been left in the living room with them while he's gone to the bathroom. They begin discussing next year's fantasy football league and ask which kind of league you think they should do. What of the following should you not say in order to blend in with the lads? So, which one of these is fake? Which of these is not a real type of fantasy football league?
Okay.
Dynasty League, Keeper League, Turnover League, or Vampire League?
So I've played fantasy for a few years.
Oh!
Yeah, back in
Nice.
college. So Keeper League is a real one. Dynasty League is also a real one, I believe. I don't know. Like turnover could be because there's turnovers in football. I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
if
what I was thinking.
I don't know if vampire is one. That's like the only one that immediately kind of drew my attention as to possibly fake.
But it feels like a red herring.
It does.
Also, at the same time, of like, it's so ridiculous that it just might work.
Right.
I know turnover is like something that happens in the game, but it is the
Yeah.
like worst name up here, like the lamest.
Well,
It is the lamest.
my idea, if I was going to join a turnover league, I feel like, without knowing what it is, I feel like it would be a league where if your player does a turnover, then you lose that player. And you have to pick a new player. Which could be fun. Like that could be a fun game mechanic.
All right, what are we saying it is?
I feel like turnover league
Yeah, that's
because
my
I like hoping that Vampire League is real.
It's 2 against 1. I feel like vampire might be the fake one, but also it could also be a red herring, and so it's either vampire or turnover.
Okay. Well, we'll say you're submitting Turnover League then.
Yeah.
All right, that is correct. That is the fake one.
Yeah.
The Vampire League is real, and I thought that was exciting. It's
What is it?
So apparently, it's like one person does not draft any players, and they are the vampire. And so each week they get to draft one player from somebody and build their own team week by week.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, so they steal a player from somebody else, which is that sounds really fun, actually. All right. You are admiring your vast collection of all FIFA games from the past 25 years on your shelf, and you notice a pattern. Which one of the following footballers appeared as a cover star of the FIFA box for 7 years in a row? Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, Lionel Messi, Thierry Henry.
I want to say Ronaldo or Messi.
I think it's Messi because
Those
that's
are the
the
only
only
two.
one I know. I was gonna say Beckham, but he's not even a choice. So
I don't think he's ever been on the box.
okay.
He's just so handsome.
When did he play?
I don't know. I just know Bend It Like Beckham. Wasn't that a movie? Wasn't that
Yeah,
a Lindsay
it was a
Lohan
movie.
Great
movie?
movie. It was a Keira Knightley.
Oh,
Good time. What
Yeah.
a flick.
I think there was an Indian girl in it, which is why my mom was like, look at this.
Yes, there was. She's great.
Okay, anyway, so who are we feeling? Ronaldo, Rooney, Messi, Henry.
Messi because I
7 years.
I think
7 years in a row.
I think he's like super popular.
Let's just go with Messi.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, that's the best one I know.
Okay. That is incorrect. It was actually Wayne Rooney. Was on the cover for 7 years in a row. Messi,
idea who that is.
Messi and Ronaldo both only had 3 years in a row before they were replaced. So no points there. Rip.
Rip.
And by the way, I didn't know about half of these things either before I made this quiz. I just want to qualify that. But I also learned a lot. All right.
We're all learning.
Yeah.
Really.
You're on a Tinder date with a guy who has worn a suit to Olive Garden. While you're trying to figure out how to stuff breadsticks into your purse for your getaway, he says, feminists ally with Islam because of their unconscious desire for brutal male domination. Which one of the following right-wing grifters is he quoting? Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, Ben Shapiro, or J.D. Vance?
This
Sounds like Tate.
this question came from Joe, didn't it?
He inspired me.
Which of them hates women the most?
They all do.
I
know.
Yeah, that's a
do.
hard question.
So
There.
icky.
I make it a point to ignore anything that comes out of the mouth of these dudes. Like I feel like it's just not
Yeah.
worth my attention.
You're correct, but that does also make this probably the most like dude-centric question on here.
That's fair. I would take the breadstick basket and just run out the front door.
You're not going to answer. I see.
Yeah. I would just take their sticks and run.
Yeah, what's crazy is we didn't even look at his face. We just heard what he said when he was talking to someone else in the room. We're like, huh, gotta go.
Okay,
I don't
well,
know,
let's
Tate-
all right, who do you want to say?
Like, my initial gut reaction is either Jordan Peterson or Andrew Tate. But, like, the way the language is, I would say Jordan Peterson.
I think it might be Peterson because I don't know if Andrew Tate could point to Israel on a map.
Oh, you're so right.
Like
Okay,
he's
let's do
all
that
he's
then.
all about like weird masculinity. I don't know. Every time I look at this dude against my will is I just feel like he's like there's just something weird going on there. Like there's something not right with that man. And so yeah, I don't think he would say something about Israel. I think that sounds like a Jordan Peterson thing.
It was not Israel. It was. Let me read the quote again. Feminists ally with Islam because of their unconscious desire for brutal male domination.
Oh, okay, my bad. So, yeah, that still feels like a Peterson thing.
It feels Petersonian in nature. You're saying?
Yeah, granted, I wouldn't know this guy if he walked up and slapped me, but you know,
True. Yep.
All right. What are you guys submitting then?
We'll say that. We'll say Peterson.
All right, you are correct. You got
Hey.
it. Yeah. So the way you know that this is not an Andrew Tate one is that he doesn't say "bitch" in it 4 times.
That's a good point.
I tried to look through some Andrew Tate quotes, which was a mistake, by the way, for this, and it's way more violent than this. All of them are really, really, really violent, and all of them don't form like a whole sentence. So, like, yeah, your initial instincts are like, yeah, Andrew Tate wouldn't have been able to form this sentence with his mouth. Your instincts were correct. All right. You are a man at the grill on the back deck on a summer evening, holding a brewski in one hand and a spatula in the other. Your sons are in the...
Wait, hold on. How high are my socks?
crew cut.
Very good.
Your sons are in the yard playing ball, and your wife is inside making a salad. You are a big, strong man, and everyone loves how masculine you are. You've got a brisket on the grill. What internal temperature should you shoot for if you want it to be tender but not fall apart?
Okay, I know this.
And these... Oh, okay. These are all in Fahrenheit. 215, 185, 195, 205.
It's been a minute since I cooked a brisket.
Yeah. One thing also, I have never touched, like, a brisket. I'm vegetarian. So I Googled this and I read a Reddit thread to double check it. So this was what people in the thread seemed to agree on was the right temperature.
So this is going off of pure memory. It's either 185 or 195.
Yeah, 200 seems way too high.
Yeah, 200 is too hot. I think it's 185.
185 feels right.
Yeah.
As far as like meat safety.
Yeah.
That's what mostly I'm concerned about. Like, okay, internal temperature of chicken needs to be this.
Yeah.
Of fish needs to be this.
That's usually down at like 160. And last time I cooked ribs, I cooked the ribs to 175, 180. So I feel like 185 is the right one.
You have any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, that was my first thought, just because it's lower. So it's slower, making it...
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, and you guys want to fact check me on this, that's fine. But, yeah, what people were saying was basically like 203 to 205 was to get it as tender as possible without it falling apart. Yeah,
That
so
feels so
185
hot.
185 is the absolute minimum for brisket for it's safe to eat. You should cook it higher than that.
Sorry.
We have a little baby feature in this too, which I think everyone's gonna like.
Tito is in the background of this one. Daddy just came home and he's very excited.
Aw, that's cute. All right. You are in a Mulan situation where you've worn a big hat and baggy clothes today and have been mistaken for a man as you wandered into a mixed martial arts tournament. In order to gain entry to the mat, you'll need to tell the tournament officials which of the following MMA fighters is known for popularizing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the West.
Jeez.
Conor McGregor, Georges St. Pierre, Royce Gracie, or John Jones?
The only
My
one
dad's gonna be so mad at me for this.
the only one I've ever heard of is McGregor.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I was thinking about wrestling, but everyone pointed out, like, there are a lot of female wrestling fans, but there are no female MMA fans. so to do this instead.
I will say Royce Gracie is the coolest name.
That is true.
That is true.
And vibes have not let us down much.
Yeah, let's go vibes with this one.
Yeah.
Then my dad won't be disappointed.
All right. Are you submitting Royce Gracie?
Yes.
You are correct. That's the right answer.
Hey, the vibes! They work!
You guys are vibing today. Okay.
I'm telling you, this got me a good score on the ACT.
I'm gonna go with vibes from now on instead of
All right.
thinking I know something when I clearly can't remember correctly.
All right. You are a very important businessman arranging a business trip to take your important man client out for a week of golf to lock down the big account. Your business partner, also a man, suggests choosing the country with the most golf courses per capita. Which country is he talking about?
Oh my
Canada, Japan, Scotland, or Sweden?
Wait, I was gonna
So-
guess the United States, and that's not even on the list.
It's not. It's the most golf courses per capita, not total.
I would say Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland
That's
is
what I
where
was
my
thinking, too.
heart goes.
I'm saying that only based on like an old Robin Williams stand-up routine where that's how I learned that it actually was invented in Scotland.
That's beautiful.
So,
I
All right.
love that that's where you learned that.
Are you guys submitting Scotland?
yes.
Yes.
You're correct. You vibed correctly again.
Hey!
Rachel pulled out some sort of like Slumdog Millionaire thing there. From, like,
There is
Robin Williams.
it's an old stand-up of his, probably from like the
Yeah.
early 90s where it's actually very funny, but he has this thing where he's talking about golf and he does it in a Scottish accent at one point. And
Aw.
I think in the stand-up he does talk about how it's Scottish in nature, and that's how I know that it's
Yeah.
Scottish in origin.
I think you're right. It is Scottish in origin. Fun bonus fact: do you know who is responsible for the most environmental destruction to Scotland because of golf courses?
Yes.
Great.
We don't have to say the name, but we all know who
We
it
don't
is.
have to say his name. We don't have to
We
say
know
his
who
name.
it is.
All right. You're on an undercover mission as a man from the CIA to infiltrate a group of dads. In order to continue your undercover investigation, you're going to need to go fly fishing. Your new fishing buddies tell you that fly fishing is a method of fishing in which the bait is an artificial fly, but they've forgotten in which country fly fishing originated. Which one do you tell them to gain access to the inner circle?
Oh, gosh.
China, England, Germany, or India?
I was going to say the United States, but once again, that's not an option.
You gotta stop doing that.
We don't think of anything good. It's fine.
We created apple pie.
My
Did we?
first thought is China. They have a lot of
My
rivers.
first thought was Canada for some reason, and it's not even. On
What'd
the
you say?
list. My first thought was Canada. I don't know why. It's not even here.
Canada's not on this list, yeah. It's not Canada. Gotta vibe it out.
It doesn't seem like an Indian thing to do. I feel like Indians would use more nets. I don't know.
I don't.
That was racist, what you said.
How is that racist? I've only seen Indians fish with nets and poles. I've never seen them fly fish.
You've done my ancestors a great dishonor.
I'm sorry, is it India?
No. Okay, I've eliminated one, so you're welcome. All right. Which one do you think it is?
I'm
Tell us
feeling
our
China
options
or
one more
Germany.
time.
China, England, or Germany? What did you say?
I'm feeling China or Germany. I don't know why.
I think Germany.
Okay, you putting in Germany?
Yeah.
Why not?
It's either that or England. But it could also be China.
You're right.
It could be
It's
any
one,
of
it's certainly one of the options. All right, tell me which one you're picking.
Germany.
Yeah.
All right. Nope, it was England, unfortunately. They came up with fly fishing.
All right.
All right. You're at a board game shop on a weekend for a Magic the Gathering tournament. Not a woman in sight. Hold up in the corner with the lads. You're sweating because your deck is looking slim, and your opponent is sitting with his feet up on the table, sipping an ice-cold Diet Mountain Dew. You brace yourself, and you draw a non-blue counterspell card. Which of the following is it possible you've drawn?
Oh, jeez.
Disdainful Stroke, Saw It Coming, Counterspell, or Mana Tithe?
Can I pull out my Blue Eyes White Dragon?
That is a different game. But we do have a Yu-Gi-Oh question later.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
The Yu-Gi-Oh question is the best one on here.
I would show up to a Magic the Gathering tournament with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
See, now I'm disappointing my sister. You throw a quilting question in here, and I'll disappoint my mom too.
That would be good. Fuck.
I'm
All right.
gonna
So
say
basically, the crux of the question is that which of these is a non-blue counterspell card? Disdainful Stroke, Saw It Coming, Counterspell, or Mana Tithe?
Disdainful Stroke makes me want to make a joke about like incels.
it did me too. Yeah.
So, you know.
I will say all four of these are real Magic the Gathering cards, and they're all real counterspell cards too.
It's
Only one of them is not blue.
it's I feel like it's Disdainful Stroke. That sounds
Vibes. The vibes. Say that one.
The vibes of that one have it. I'm feeling a green. Disdainful Stroke feels green to me.
How do you feel?
I could see it.
What color do you feel like the stroke is?
Maybe green, but it could be red.
Oh, red.
All right. You guys submitting that one?
Yeah.
That is incorrect. Sorry. Mana Tithe was the non-blue one, unfortunately. The other three are all blue.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Because the vibes told us different.
Did you read that card's aura? What's
I
its
did
star
not read
sign?
the card's aura. That is fair. We should do one of these, and I'll do some astrology questions. All right. You're at GameStop looking at which game to buy for your cool new Xbox. You've chosen Mortal Kombat 1, but when you head to the counter, the man behind it eyes you suspiciously and asks you which legendary American game designer created the massive fighting game franchise in 1992, and what was the name of their studio? What do you whisper nervously while avoiding eye contact?
Oh, was it Capcom that created
No,
it?
I'm gonna read.
My bad.
John Romero from id Software, Ed Boon from Midway Games, Todd Howard from Bethesda Softworks, Tim Schafer from Double Fine Productions, or Kim Swift from Valve.
Okay, it's not Valve. It's not Bethesda.
It's not Double Fine.
What was the second one?
Ed Boon from Midway Games.
What was the first one? I'm so sorry.
John Romero from id Software.
I want to say that one.
These are all real legendary game creators from the 90s, so...
Yeah.
I remember it.
I just recently watched the entire Psych Odyssey.
Ah, you did, yeah. Patrick's talked about it a lot, so
Yeah.
you definitely know Double Fine.
So I definitely know Double Fine.
I felt like it was like a Capcom or a Rare game on the N64, but clearly, I'm mistaken.
This is the studio, not the publisher. You might be thinking of a publisher?
Probably.
Maybe.
It's A or B. What do the vibes tell us?
If you met if you met a guy named John Romero and a guy named Ed Boon, which one of them would you point at and be like, you did Mortal Kombat?
Romero, I feel like
John
has
Romero.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Mortal
Ed Boon
Kombat.
sounds like someone that could be from my hometown.
He might be. We'll have to check. Okay. Unfortunately, that one is wrong. It was Ed Boon. John Romero is the creator of Doom.
Oh.
But yeah, that was Midway Games. That was eventually the Mortal Kombat franchise was moved over to NetherRealm Games, and they're owned by Warner Brothers. So WB Games publishes those. Capcom does Street Fighter, which is maybe what you're thinking
Well,
of.
that's pretty much the same thing. So
I'm gonna have to erase that from the audio. All right, you are at a Star Trek convention and are accosted by an angry nerd who has just finished staring creepily at a woman cosplaying as Lieutenant Uhura. He confronts you for being a fake fan, as you have merely put on a bald cap and did not fully shave your head for your Captain Picard costume. To get rid of him, you'll have to prove that you're a real fan by telling him which of the following 4 actors has never portrayed the first officer on the USS Enterprise. Whose name do you shriek to escape? Zachary Quinto, Chris Pine, Leonard Nimoy, Ethan Peck. Which one of them has never portrayed the first officer of the USS Enterprise?
Leonard Nimoy played Spock, didn't he?
Yes.
So,
but the question is, I don't know if Spock is the first officer or not.
I don't know. I don't think he is. Isn't he like the ship's doctor?
No.
Oh.
I mean, actually, I think maybe Spock was the first officer. I think so Chris Pine was the captain in
You have
the
any
most
thoughts?
recent ones.
I was just
Zachary
trying to think of the original
Quinto.
guy that Chris Pine, that character,
Uh-huh.
the old guy.
What?
I don't know.
I thought Spock was the doctor for some reason. I thought that wasn't there like an old quote where he's like, "Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a whatever."
That is not Spock.
Oh, that's not Spock.
That was a...
No.
Yeah, that was absolutely not Spock.
Spock is live long and prosper. He's the one he's the Vulcan that has the eyebrows that go like this and the hand thing.
Yeah.
It's played by both Leonard Nimoy and Zachary Quinto.
Oh.
So Zachary Quinto played Spock in the one where Chris Pine is Kirk. And then what was the one that I haven't mentioned yet?
Ethan Peck.
No, I don't know who that is. I'm going to say Chris Pine. No, wait. Because did they switch? I don't remember those movies enough.
If there was a body switch thing, that's not factored in here.
Well, no, not body switching, no.
I thought that's what you were saying.
But he was, because he wasn't always captain. At least in the first one, he didn't just like start as captain. But I don't remember if he ever was first officer in that film or not. I can't.
But only one of these has not portrayed the first officer.
Well, then let's just go with the one that I know for sure, or that I don't know anything about. Ethan Peck.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. No, it was Chris Pine.
Damn.
So Chris Pine...
I played myself.
Yeah. Chris Pine played Captain Kirk. The other three actors have all played Spock, who was the first officer.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a new running show... a new show that is running right now where Ethan Peck is playing Spock, which I have not seen. I don't know anything about him.
Well, there we go.
All right. You guys got to go back to vibes. Come on.
I know. Should have gone with my guts.
You were in a comic book shop and you've seen an interesting cover for a new issue of The Punisher. You pick it up to glance at it, but not 1 second later, a neckbeard wearing all camo is right up in your face, and he asks if you're actually enough of a Punisher fan. He demands you tell him the name of the actor that portrays the Punisher in the MCU. You look around for help and see a cardboard standee of an actor in the Punisher costume, and recognize him from The Walking Dead, The Wolf of Wall Street, and The Bear. What name do you yell? We have John Bernthal, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Kyle Chandler, Andrew Lincoln.
I have the picture of this man's face in my brain.
Yeah, I knew that everybody would.
See him and his,
No idea.
like...
I designed this question for you.
Why?
Because I listed all the things the guy is from, but, like, say, like, what is his name? Which is the thing
I've
you're
never watched any of those things.
No, I know, but you're constantly, like, mad that you don't remember actors' names, but know a bunch of things that
Yeah,
are
'cause I
in.
can't remember
So
the
I made
original
this for
Captain
you.
Kurt's name, and that's still bothering me.
They're in this, and they're in that.
Yeah.
Andrew Lincoln's the only name I recognize.
So this actor who plays the Punisher in the MCU was in The Wolf of Wall Street, The Walking Dead, and The Bear.
Yeah, I'm having literally, like, put him in a lineup and I'll be that guy. But to ask me his name, it's not in there.
I will read the names
So
again.
maybe it's the
John
most-
Bernthal.
I was gonna say maybe it's read the names again. Sorry.
John Bernthal, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Kyle Chandler, Andrew Lincoln.
So maybe it's the second one because that's a name that I would not remember.
Really? I think I would remember that one.
Okay.
Well, it's like a weird name.
Right, but like I wouldn't be able to, like, if someone was like, "Oh, what's that guy's name?" I would be afraid that I would, like, get the syllables wrong.
Will you say them all one more time?
Sure. John Bernthal, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Kyle Chandler, Andrew Lincoln.
I feel like just a simple John. John.
It's a good last name. I don't know.
Bernthal?
Bernthal.
That sounds.
I can feel it in, like, the back of my throat.
Yeah.
Bernthal.
Like the Punisher would do.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. You going to go with that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. That is correct. It is John Bernthal.
Nice.
The John vibes.
Also, for the record, it was William Shatner who I was trying to think of.
Oh, you were saying who played Chris Pine's character
Yeah.
in the old... Okay, I didn't understand what your
I know,
question
I
was.
couldn't form it.
Yeah. No, that was William Shatner, yeah. Okay. All right. Next question. We're getting near the end here. Your boyfriend is staring off into space while you try to explain your complicated travel plans that he needs to pay attention to. You snap him back to attention, and he admits he was thinking about the Roman Empire again. Specifically, about the general who invaded Rome during the Second Punic War by crossing the Alps on war elephants from North Africa. Which ancient general is he thinking about instead of you? Hannibal of Carthage, Alaric the Goth, Alexander the Great, Pyrrhus of Epirus.
I think
Ooh,
it's
that last one has really good vibes.
I think it's Hannibal of Carthage because of the memes.
Oh.
What are the memes?
There's memes of Hannibal of Carthage?
I think it's
I've
Hannibal.
not seen those.
So there's memes where they're like where someone will post some nonsense that's happening on the internet, and it's like you wake up in a field and I could have sworn it was Hannibal, and something about Rome must burn.
Oh.
So
Listen, from this side story alone, I am down for Hannibal.
right, but I could be
I'm
wrong.
DTH.
care.
I'm down to Hannibal.
Yeah, I'm sure. He's like one of the two that I know, which the other is obviously Alexander the Great, so.
I don't think it's Alexander the Great.
No.
But the last guy does have a good name.
He does. Tell us that name again.
Pyrrhus of Epirus.
Ooh.
Hit me with that name.
It's like a Mufasa.
Yeah. All right, who are we submitting?
No, I still like the Hannibal little bit. And even if it is Pyrrhus of Epirus, then that's also good for me too. Like, even if we don't get the point, it'll feel good.
All right, you submitting Hannibal?
Sure.
Okay, that is correct.
Yay!
Yeah, he was very famous for using elephants to cross over the Alps because other generals couldn't figure out how to cross the mountains to get their armies across.
The memes
Incredible.
helped.
That one I did know because I do think about it every other week.
We know.
You are admiring your Steelbook Blu-ray collection of the collected works of Zack Snyder, the greatest visionary in the history of cinema. You've decided to rewatch Zack Snyder's Justice League, the director's cut of the movie, which has caused you to reach enlightenment. Which of these things is true about the Snyder cut that differentiates it from the original Joss Whedon cut that was shown in theaters? 1. It is shorter than the theatrical cut. 2. It is in 3D. 3. It features only practical effects with no special effects. D. It is displayed in a 4:3 ratio.
D.
That one. D.
Sure.
You don't have any comments about Zack Snyder's Justice League, Rachel?
The only thing I've ever seen about done by Zack Snyder was 300.
Yeah, that was a while ago, huh? All right, you guys just vibing or you feel confident?
Just vibing.
I'm feeling very confident
Okay.
about that one.
You should, because you're right.
Yeah. I remember everyone being like, oh, no, it's so much better because... And by everyone, I mean men. Being like, no, it's so much better because it's in this aspect ratio and it's so cool. It's also, like, definitely longer.
Yes, it is over 4 hours long.
And the no special effects. Isn't this the one where they had to edit out Henry Cavill's
They
mustache?
super duper did. You were correct.
Why?
Because he refused to shave it.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think he was filming something
He was
else
filming
at the same time.
Mission
because he had a
Impossible Fallout
mustache.
at the same time, I think.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yes, he was filming Mission Impossible Fallout, and they were filming his bits as, like, extra parts later. So he's just like, I already have this mustache. I'm not going to shave it and then grow it back for this movie that I'm already
Yes.
filming. So for the bits that you have, like... Because he already did film Superman
Yes.
and without the mustache. It wasn't like the entire movie was filmed with the mustache.
Yeah. It's very
With the
good.
extra bits.
Also, fun fact, Mission Impossible Fallout is the best movie of all time because Henry Cavill cocks his arms to reload them like they're guns. And in a fight
Henry
scene.
Cavill's so great.
He like is, and then he punches somebody like he's reloaded them. It's very good. All right.
It is very good.
You're at an airport and you see a stand with a bunch of books on it. You've always wondered what Tom Clancy is and decide to take a peek. All you know is that his books are about spying and military stuff. Which of the following is a fake Tom Clancy novel you won't be able to read this evening on your economy seat with no snacks or drinks included? So here, which of these is fake? Line of Sight, Weapons Grade, Oath of the Honor Bound, Chain of Command, True Faith and Allegiance. Only one of those is fake.
Read them again.
Line of
Because
Sight,
they all sound real.
I know. Weapons Grade, Oath of the Honor Bound, Chain of Command, True Faith and Allegiance.
Oath of the Honor Bound almost sounds like a fantasy novel. Like if you told me Oath of the Honor Bound was written by Brandon Sanderson, I would believe you.
Interesting.
Yes.
That does kind of sound like one thing or two.
Those are good vibes. They all sound correct, but that one I like.
Okay. You have any thoughts?
Let's go with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with going that because my only other thought was Chain of Command, just because it's like the most inspired.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a bit derivative. You guys are correct. Oath of the Honor Bound is the fake one.
Yeah.
Is that a book written by Brandon Sanderson?
It is not to my knowledge, but okay, so
Not yet.
I did combine two real Tom Clancy books, which were Oath of Office and Call of Honor or something like that. And I was like, oh, let me just mix two of them together to make it like authentic. All right. We got a few more, I think 4 more left here. You are perusing the games at Target, and as you reach for one, the Target employee leaps in front of you like he's protecting the president from a bullet. He claims you should never, ever pick this game up because DEI has ruined the sequel to a beloved game by giving the female protagonist peach fuzz that can only be seen if you zoom in on a 4K monitor. Which game is the Target employee protecting you from? The Last of Us Part 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, Death Stranding 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Nier Automata.
It's either Horizon Forbidden West or it's the first one. Because I remember when this kerfluffle came out. And
Kerfuffle's a good word.
Yeah.
The Last of Us Part 2 is the first one I said.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, I think it's Last of Us Part 2 because It
might be Horizon West, because I know I haven't played the first one yet, but it's like on my to-do list. And then when this sequel, I was like, oh, there's a sequel coming out. And then there was like all of this buzz about it.
The entire internet exploded because of this, because the female protagonist has peach fuzz that can be seen on a 4K monitor if you zoom in on it.
Yeah, and I can.
Is this the one where they like have like rendered anatomy?
I know what you're trying to say, but I don't know what you're saying. What?
There was a game that came out recently that all of the bits of their anatomy are rendered, even if you like don't have clothing on. But like there is no point in the game in which you would see that.
But
it's like just in case for the people that.
There is an interesting story that I will tell right after this, but I don't know what you're talking about for this one specifically. All right, what do you think?
I think it's Horizon Zero. Whatever, because
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West, whatever. It's because I can see the picture in my mind's eye, and it has pretty bright colors. And Last of Us, if I remember, is a pretty like dark and dungy.
It's very gray.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You guys are correct. Horizon Forbidden West is the answer. Aloy has a little bit of peach fuzz on her in one of the key art pictures and in the game. And everyone died. The whole internet died. They made the biggest fucking deal out of it. Now, I don't think this is what you were referencing, Alexa, but somebody like dug into the code and they found that like Aloy, her character model in Horizon Forbidden West has like fully rendered nipples, which was
like areolas
and everything. Which was the reason for that was the game designers did that so that they could like correctly create armor and weapons and stuff for her to wear, clothing, etc. So they weren't just like sitting there, basically. But there's no point in the game where you can see them.
No, yes, I know that there's no point in which you can see them.
And then
they had
to patch her nipples out because people found it.
Yeah, why you need those areolas?
That is a game that was designed by
them.
A lot of women. So I mean, I think that was just a thing that they did to help them, and they didn't think anyone would ever see because it's not supposed to be there for you to see. Anyway, I remember making a good joke about Horizon Forbidden Breast, and I thought that was funny. All right.
That's good. I enjoy that.
You sleepwalk across town and wake up in a game shop where a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament is happening, noting the real mandatory showering rule for Yu-Gi-Oh! Players is not being followed here. You see a finals match. I wrote that in there because it's a real thing. The official rules.
It is.
The official rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments state that you have to have taken a shower in the last 24 hours, or they won't let you in, because they have so many people there that don't like.
But here's the thing: like you can take a shower, right? Like you can undress and like stand under some running water, but that's not the same as like actually bathing and cleaning yourself.
There's only so much you can do as a tournament official.
I think there should be like official like shower watchers. Like they have to monitor
I don't want that.
your hygiene.
I don't want to set a precedent for shower watchers. Okay. Anyway, you see a finals match happening and observe that player A has no monsters on the field, but has one face down card in the spell trap slot. Player B plays a monster, the Dark Magician, through a tribute summon. Player A reveals his trap card, which instantly would kill the Dark Magician. However, player B flips over his face-down trap card, which negates player A's trap card, ensuring his monster is summoned. Which set of 2 cards have just been played?
Wow.
This is my favorite one. I spent a long time on this. All right. So you're gonna probably have to vibe this one. So these are it's a set of 2 cards for each answer. A, Pot of Greed and Monster Reborn. B, Relinquished and Maneater Bug. C, Trap Hole and Solemn Judgment. D, Dust Tornado and Infernity Barrier. These are all real cards.
The first ones I actually recognize from the anime. Those I remember, like, fully seeing. This is good stuff. I can remember Yugi himself yelling those names.
You're correct. He did.
In his deep man voice.
I feel
played by Dan Green, who I met a few months ago. Remember we met him?
Oh.
Got his signature over there. All right.
I feel like I was drawn to the vibes of the first one because Monster Reborn sounds like it would work in this situation. Because it would allow your monster to be reborn and thus be played.
Yeah. I don't remember what Pot of Greed does, but I know I remember hearing him say it.
Yeah. So I'll run through them one more time. Pot of Greed and Monster Reborn. Relinquished and Maneater Bug. Trap Hole and Solemn Judgment. Dust Tornado and Infernity Barrier. And shout out to Smashton in our Discord for helping me write this, because I don't know a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore.
I also don't know a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh!
I used to know a lot about it when I was a child, but I don't anymore.
Yeah. I think that was an eternity ago when I paid any attention to Yu-Gi-Oh!
An infernity ago.
I remember at some point that's good. At some point as an adult, seeing that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was still kind of a thing and being like, this is still alive? I thought this died.
This card game, the real life card tournaments are still very much going, and the video game is doing really well. There's like an online live game.
Good for them.
Duel Masters, I think it's called. Yeah, all right, so what are you feeling?
I mean, the first one gives me nostalgia, but the last one is like, ooh, infernity. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I can't emphasize how little I know about Yu-Gi-Oh!
I like the vibes of the first one.
Okay.
All right, that is incorrect, unfortunately. That was a bait one, because I knew you would recognize the names of the cards, because they're both from Yugi's deck from the first season. Pot of Greed allows you to draw 2 more cards, and Monster Reborn lets you resurrect an already dead monster. So, Trap Hole is a trap card that activates and kills a monster while it is being summoned. Solemn Judgment is a trap card that negates other trap cards. So that is the correct answer. All right.
Well, there you go.
2 more. You love figurines and painting, and you've heard about Warhammer 40k, a hobby that revolves heavily around collecting and painting your own minifigs. It sounds neat, so you head over to the local hobby shop to see what the deal is. Unfortunately, a man in full Space Marine cosplay who you're not sure even works here is guarding the aisle from any girls with cooties, and demands that you tell him the battle cry of the Warriors of Khorne before entering.
I'm sorry, the Warriors of what?
Khorne, but I think it's just pronounced corn.
Like the new metal band?
Butter!
No, the new metal band is Korn. This is Khorne.
When you said it, I just
Okay.
immediately saw a bunch of like dudes in wide-legged pants from 1999, like a legion of them.
Well, you can picture that. They're the Warriors of Khorne. What is their battle cry? What do you yell your banners raise to gain entry to this protected land? Here are the 4 battle cries. These are, I believe, battle cries. I looked on a Reddit thread to try to find real battle cries from Warhammer. And so the lion saith smite. Bravery is stronger than adamantium. Let hatred fill you, for hate is good. Blood for the blood god.
Blood for the blood god. I like that one.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
You like that one?
That's fun.
I do too.
That is the real one. That is correct. That's a very famous thing, and probably the most famous thing from Warhammer, just like is blood for the blood god, because it's fun to say.
If these are Warriors of Khorne, what is the blood? Like, is it butter?
No.
Yes.
Khorne is the god of blood, and so that is... Never mind.
But is the Khorne's blood made of butter? Because it sounds delicious.
That would be amazing.
All right, last question. which I stumped everyone in the Discord with, which I was happy about. There is a sale on Amazon right now for the entire works of director Kevin Smith, and you know your boyfriend is a big fan of the Jay and Silent Bob films, and has a birthday coming up. But there's been a rash of fake Blu-rays popping up on Amazon, so you have an inkling some of these Kevin Smith movies are fake. Which one should you purchase to avoid ending up with a fake cover printed on an empty case? So, here's the deal, is that there's 5 options here. Only one of these is real. 4 of them are fake. So you're going to tell me which one is a real Jay and Silent Bob movie that Kevin Smith made.
They're all Jay and Silent Bob, and this is the subtitle?
Yep. Jay and Silent Bob Blast to the Past. Jay and Silent Bob Super Groovy Cartoon Movie. Jay and Silent Bob Make a Porno. Jay and Silent Bob Cop Out. Jay and Silent Bob and the Big Helium Dog.
I like that one rhymes. Also, I have no idea what Jay and Silent Bob is.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I gotta say, sorry?
Make a Porno is another movie with 2 different names ahead of it.
Yeah, it's
That's what I thought.
Oh, and I can't remember the names, but it is definitely a different movie.
Yeah.
It's 2 women. I think it's 2 women in that movie.
Or it's a couple. Anyways, that's the only one that I would recognize as a different movie.
All these fake ones.
But the Helium Dog is very funny.
Yeah, so this is sort of a hint. All of these fake ones are from they're parts of the names of other real Kevin Smith movies.
Wait. So they're not... I'm confused
They're not
now.
Jay and Silent Bob movies, but they are other movies Kevin Smith made that I attached the name Jay and Silent Bob to the front of.
Oh. Okay.
So the one you're recognizing is the movie I pulled this title from.
Okay.
What was the first option again?
That helps.
All right.
Yeah, you're going to have to give them to him
Okay.
again because I was analyzing them differently.
Jay and Silent Bob Blast to the Past. Jay and Silent Bob Super Groovy Cartoon Movie. Jay and Silent Bob Make a Porno. Jay and Silent Bob Cop Out. Jay and Silent Bob and the Big Helium Dog.
You know,
I think Cop Out.
Which one of these is real?
Is real.
One of these is a real one. 4 of them are fake.
I like Helium Dog just because it rhymes.
Same.
Super Groovy Cartoon Movie feels right. Okay, so sorry, I need to understand this question one more time. So the ones that you are pulling from existing movies are fake, but the ones that have Jay and Silent Bob
I should not have said anything. I was just giving you a behind-the-curtain peek at how I came up with the names for the fake ones. Ignore what I said. I'm just saying, one of these is a real movie title, and 4 of them are fake movie titles. They're not real movies.
Okay. I think Super Groovy Cartoon Movie.
What do you guys think?
I like it. It could also be a Scooby-Doo movie. I feel like it could be a Scooby-Doo title. I don't know if Kevin Smith ever directed Scooby-Doo, though.
I have no idea.
No comments?
All I know is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
That's the only one I know.
It's too easy. Didn't put it in there.
I know. I was hoping. I was like, if he says that one, I will know it's that one. But that one was too easy.
I know that one, and I know Dogma, and that's about as much as I know.
That's more than I know, or knew before today.
Same.
All right, what's your submission? Vibe it. Just vibe it.
Helium Dog.
All right, you feeling?
Yeah, I second.
What do you feel, Rachel?
Yeah.
All right, the correct answer was Super Groovy Cartoon Movie.
Oh no!
You had it right the first
my
time.
vibes. I had it
Your
right
vibes
the
were
first
good.
time.
You doubted your vibes, and that was what got you here.
Again, that's the second time, so I can get 2 half points to make 1 full point.
So what I was saying...
Yes, you're shaking your head yes. For everyone listening on the podcast, Nirav definitely said yes.
Oh my god. All right, I will give you some bonus points. for vibing. So what I was saying was that these other movies, Blast to the Past, it was Zack and Miri Make a Porno is the name of the movie.
That's it.
Cop Out and The Big Helium Dog are all Kevin Smith movies, but not Jay and Silent Bob movies. So that's how I got the names to feel authentic, by taking them from his other movies.
All right.
Okay, never mind. I'm just kind of like tooting my own horn, basically. All right, so why don't you guys discuss the quiz, and I'm going to add these up real quickly.
I mean, that was pretty fun. It was interesting, but also, like, I feel like so much of those questions remind me why I don't spend a lot of time in those spaces.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed because I did think there would be more that I would know about.
Yeah.
The descriptions were good. Like, the lead up of, like, putting ourselves into these spaces had me thoroughly icked.
That was what I was hoping for.
I think my favorite was Olive Garden. The date in Olive Garden.
Date in Olive Garden was good. Neckbeard, very good.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to say is a passing score out of 100?
70?
Yeah, C's get degrees. So.
Right.
70? Okay, so now I got to do math. Hold on. Okay. And then you're getting bonus points for vibing correctly twice, half points. So that puts you at a 60. So that's pretty good. And frankly, I think if this was a reverse type of quiz, I would have done much worse than you.
We should come up with a reverse.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, fucking talk to me about healing crystals. Like,
yeah, we can actually. You know what? I think we should do this.
Yeah.
I think we do some girly pop music.
Ooh.
We do some classic chick flicks.
Ooh,
reality shows.
Reality
shows. Yeah. Yes.
I found out
astrology
about
crystals.
Chapel Roan. She's real. And that's how her name is pronounced.
It is?
And there's Sabrina Carpenter, because I know the espresso song now. So
He likes the Nintendo part.
Yeah, only because of that, where she's like, switch it up like Nintendo. And I was like...
We could even...
hey, that's for me!
We could even throw in some classic girl games.
Like the Barbie games.
Yeah, or even like The Sims. We were talking about The Sims earlier.
Oh yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
Some Stardew Valley.
Elden Ring.
Okay. All right. That'd be cool.
Kidding.
No, okay, so anyway, thank you guys for joining me for this. I hope you had fun. That was the important part, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good. You guys don't look like you had fun. You okay?
It was great.
Thank you.
It was a great time.
I worked very hard on this quiz for hours. I literally spent like 3 hours on this.
You did such a good job.
Thank you.
Well done.
So anyway, this is just our little fun April Fool's thing. We will have a new regular episode out, I believe, like a week after you're hearing this. So make sure to keep an eye on your podcatcher. Does anyone else want to say anything before we head out? Anything to say about men in general? This is your chance to broadcast it to the world.
Talk to women.
Some of these people I don't want to
do
talk
better.
to.
Do better. All of you. Even if you're doing good, do better.
Yeah, I like that.
Literally right now, we need you so much to be speaking up in the spaces where women are being silenced. Because you still have the power. Specifically, if you were white, cisgendered men. We need all the help that we can get. And don't just give up, I guess. Don't be quiet. Don't be comfortable. Because you can afford to be uncomfortable for us.
Nice. You have anything, Rachel?
I don't think so. I don't have anything to add to that. I second it.
Lyndsey, do you have anything?
Fuck Jordan Peterson.
Okay, that's a good one too.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that. All right, well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I had a good time making this, and yeah, we will be back with more adventures of the magical adventures of Feyre and Rhysand for the next episode, where they go on a magic carpet ride, which was weird. I wasn't expecting that.
Yes.
They fly around his estate, and she's like, "Fuck off." All right. So yeah, we'll hit you up later. And Alexa, this is your chance. You guys are in control here. What is going to be the ending phrase of this episode? Because I know you don't like our regular one.
I'm the only one, so we don't have to not say it because of me, but somebody else can.
Oh no, this is your time. This is your special episode. What do you got?
I mean, I'm always the fan of support your local bookstores, and maybe when you're doing that, pick up a little smut along the way.
Okay, there we go. All right, thank you guys. We'll see you later. And I'm going to stop recording that. And then...
I didn't say it. Nobody said
Sorry, I heard Patrick say that through your microphone. Why didn't you say keep on trucking?
He's so mad at me right now.
Tick, 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 tick on the wall. Maybe you could have it all. Get down on your knees and pray. Maybe she will let you stay. Good enough if you play the game. Here comes the music, don't resist. Gotta keep on moving. Here comes the music, just give in. Gotta keep on